So most of the whites were sent to Akwamu as war captives to save Akwamu.
So they were serving?
Yes.
So they also became slaves in the castle?
Yes.
Is it safe to say that the only African state, African community, African ethnic groups or kingdom that ever made the white slaves in their kingdom is the Akwamus?
Of course, yes.
I'm sure.
I'm very sure. I'm very, very
So,
sure. That much I can't tell.
Okay.
But Akwamu had an army of about 10,000 people by then.
Okay.
So imagine it. And some of them were whites.
Oh. Wow, as I said other time at Osu Castle, that I'll be following up on the story of Asamani, the one and only black governor that ever ruled the Cape Coast Castle. Today, I'm here in the Akwamu Kingdom, where King Asamani was from, the one who took over the Osu Castle from the Danes. And here is a statue that shows his conquest ability, where he's holding the castle, the keys to the castle in one hand and gun in the other hand. I want to get close to the statue. I don't know if it's allowed, but I'll try anyway. Yeah, I want to get close to this statue and see how, just get close enough, you know, because from here, I'm going to go to the chief's palace, their kingdom. I'm going to go to the palace, and then I'm going to see if I learn the keys are on display at the museum. So I want to go to their museum and see what is there. But then when I stand here, I see Nana Asamani of Akwamu, governor of Christabel Castle, now Osu Castle, 1693 to 1694. You know, so, and this was commissioned by Odenoho Kwafu Akoto III, right? So this is very incredible scene, and you could all see how happy I was the other time. I was so happy that a black man can overtake the white, irrespective of all their sophisticated architecture, ammunitions, and whatsoever. So today we are in the Akwamu Kingdom, and let me tell you something. Follow me. I'm thrilled. I don't know what I'm going to expect. So, guys, this is the statue of the conqueror. He's standing just here, and then I'm going to take you to the kingdom and try to see if we can talk to any of the kings, the chiefs, whoever will be available to talk to us, to tell us about this fierce king. Today is another day for discovery, and this is the journey. Follow me. Hi, everyone. So, like I said other time from the Osu Castle, that we're going to actually follow up on Nana Asamani. Now, today, I happen to be here in Akwamufie. And fortunately for me, I'm back home because I didn't know this is where I'm from. So I'm back home, and I've met, I'll say, my grandfather, and he also happens to be one of the chiefs here. So I don't know, I'm just, you know, as you can see, I'm trying to comport myself and filled with excitement and other things. So I would like to introduce Nana to introduce himself so that we can all know him. And then we are going to start our interesting conversation.
My name is Nana Semisia Dakon II, Jaswahine to Obahine. And if you say Jaswahine, it means he's the chief of staff of the palace, and also the curator of the Akwamu Museum.
Okay, so Nana, this time I want you to also be aware that everybody watching you or going to watch you is not just Ghanaians, but a lot of them are people who were forcefully taken as slaves, taken to the diaspora, and they are interested to know where we came from, their history, and all that. So that's why the journey started. And then I've been to Salaga, Karachi, all the slave history, and everything connected to us. I'm trying to do my best. So I want you to be aware, a lot of the diasporans are going to watch. And I believe that, hey, when you come to Ghana this year, the December in Ghana and all that, try and visit Akwamufie. I know most of you come to Akosombo, but Akwamufie is just Just when you get to that Domu Bridge and you branch on your left, about some 5 minutes drive, this is it. You understand? It's not far from you. So just try and branch here and come to the museum and see for yourself relics and things that you've never seen before. And I don't know if we'll be privileged to just show you some snippets of the things that has been protected from ages. So Nana, this one, can you tell us about the Akwamus and then how they came to be?
Akwamu people are originally Akan.
Okay.
And still we remain Akan.
Okay.
We migrated from southern Sudan,
Okay.
part of the Nubian states.
Okay.
And we moved to Timbuktu, Ghana Empire.
Okay.
From Ghana Empire, we moved to Ivory Coast.
Okay.
From Ivory Coast, we moved into the forest belt.
Okay.
Then settling at Himang,
Okay.
Chifu Himang.
Okay.
From Chifu Himang, we had a whole lot of settlements.
Okay.
Akwetia, and all those towns, Saramankesi,
Okay.
and finally settled at Nyanaoso,
Okay.
where we created a very big empire. By 1701, Akwamu was a complete country,
Okay.
stretching about 250 miles radius,
Okay.
from present-day Winneba Central Region to present-day Benin.
Wow.
Yes,
That was big.
that's a map over there.
Okay.
So Akwamu was a complete empire. It was a state.
Okay.
It wasn't a small country. No.
Okay.
And those days, it was only conquest.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it happened. And by 1730, there was an internal civil war that made us move from Nyanaosu to the present-day Akwamufie, where we are now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
in one word, how will you describe the people of Akwamu?
They are, I see them as emissaries.
You see them as what?
Emissaries.
Emissaries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we are spread all over the country, from Volta region or even Benin to Abidjan.
Okay.
Akwamus are there.
Okay.
You know, like how do you call them? The Israelites. We are spread all over the place.
All over the place.
All over. In Ashanti, we are there. We are everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So now looking at the span of the Akwamus, how will you talk about the involvement of the Akwamus with the slave trade?
Akwamu, inarguably, was a safe haven for the slaves. Why? Because Akwamu saw the whites as cheating on the blacks, especially using their women anyhow and arresting people forcibly for slave trade. So people had the tendency of coming to Akwamu as a safe haven as against the whites. And that is why the whites in the olden days gathered courage to fight Akwamu, because they didn't allow them to be doing all this, bad things.
Okay. So what is one of the notable wars that the Akwamus fought with the whites, just so that they can break through for their business?
We fought the whites at the Osu Castle.
Okay.
We decided to annex the castle because by then we had conquered the whole coast. So annexing the castle was annexing Europe in Africa.
Wow.
Yes.
How did it happen? Tell me, I'm interested. Let me sit well. Take your time. I'm interested.
Once upon a time, there lived a prince called Asmani.
Okay.
And this prince was very brave. He was a nephew to the king.
Okay.
So Akwamufie had a plan to annex the castle. So he sent him to go and work there under the guise of an interpreter, a cook, whatever.
Okay.
So he learned the language very well, and at one point he came to report back to the uncle that now he is the sole confidant of the governor.
Wow.
So Akwamufie also gave him men who hid their guns under their clothes. They went to the castle under the guise of buying arms.
Okay.
So upon doing that, they were conquered.
Okay. Now I want to, I think, align two stories together. So from the Osu Castle, the creator made us aware that Asamani came back with 80 men. And these 80 men had extra gunpowders hidden. And they came in the guise of buying arms.
Yeah.
So, and when you buy the arms, they give you the privilege to test the arms.
Yeah.
So, in the process of testing the arms
and also learning how to shoot.
Already they already know how to shoot.
They were marksmen, good marksmen. You know.
They were what?
Good marksmen.
Good marksmen.
Yeah. Even a marksman is somebody who can shoot and shoot properly.
Okay.
You see? And they were already good.
Okay.
That's why they were selected by Akwamufie to go for the...
So they were handpicked?
Yes.
So how many people were handpicked?
80.
80, okay. So how was the feeling like knowing that the castle has been taken over?
The euphoria, you can imagine.
Wow.
You see, Akwamufie, by all intents and purposes, relishes what we call victory.
Okay.
So, and when he hears victory, he's dined. He has finished dining. That is all.
Okay.
So most of the whites were sent to Akwamu as war captives. And after that, the king of, how do you call it, Denmark, came to negotiate with Akwamufie that they should release the war captives. And in the course of doing that, he wanted to also buy the castle because other whites were, ready to buy the castle. But the community thought it expedient to sell the castle back to the original owner. Yeah. So that is how come.
Okay. So I want to ask a question now. And during that era, people that were sold into slavery, there were war captives were part of it. So now that the Akwamus have the whites as war captives, what did you use them for until the negotiation?
They brought them to Akwamu. They were war captives.
Okay.
But they were brought to Akwamu to save Akwamu.
So they were serving?
Yes.
So they also became slaves in the castle?
Yes.
It's like we were able to at least... So is it safe to say that the only African states, African community, African ethnic groups or kingdom that ever made the white slaves in their kingdom is the Akwamus?
Of course, yes.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure. I'm very, very sure.
So how many white men were made to serve as slaves in the Akwamu state?
That much I can't tell.
Okay.
But Akwamu had an army of about 10,000 people by then.
Okay.
So imagine it. And some of them were whites.
Oh, captured.
Captured.
I don't know, I feel relieved. At least. It was not all like that.
No.
So why, I have a question. Why is it that the slave trade still continues in the Osu Castle under the leadership of the Akwamus?
Akwamus were dealing with gold, ivory, and those kind of things.
Okay.
They were selling, items.
Okay.
But not, humans, not slaves.
So during the 1 year of takeover of
14 months, yeah.
Asamani,
Yeah.
during that period, they were doing business, but not with slave trade.
No.
So that debunks the story from the castle that during that time, the Akwamu still continue with the slave trade because in the castle, they have it that during that time, the Akwamus, which is Nana's many or Governor's many, continued the business of the castle, which include the slave trade. What would you say to that?
I would say no, because Asmani was a businessman. And he was doing trade, serious trade. even after leaving the castle, he had shops, around Akwamu country, doing business. He was not selling slaves, no. He was selling gold, ivory, and those kind of things.
Okay. So why do you have a statue on the roundabout?
Just to commemorate his efforts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, present-day Ghana, the Akwamus, we are here. How will you describe the Akwamus in present-day Ghana?
I describe Akwamus just like I said, we have the Israelites of Africa, or the West Coast, not even only West Coast, because we travel across Ivory Coast, from Benin to Ivory Coast. We are all over the place.
Okay.
So we are dotted. Any ethnic tribe in Ghana, you will see Akwamus there.
Okay. Now, here is something that, is a bit confusing, but I believe we can get somewhere from. I went to Menchia, and then the creator there was also like, they are kind of Israelites or some way, somehow from Israel in a way. The Ghanaians also say that, and now Akwamus is also saying that. So which one is the truth? Is it that those tribes still came from Akwamu, or they all came uniquely?
Should I say that Ashanti came out of Akwamu?
Okay.
Because Ashanti came after 1717, when Osei Tutu, and which means that Akwamus went to help Asantis for their Fayasi War.
Okay.
And most of the states in Ashanti are Akwamus.
Can you name some of the Akwamus states?
Plenty.
Okay.
Like this thing, how do you call it?
Edum. Okay.
Asafo. Agogo. Kumewu.
Okay.
No, a lot of them.
Wow.
A lot of them.
Okay. Now, if my memory serves me right, I learned that Osei Tutu was once here before he was called back. Can you, since he was here, can you tell us how he ended up here? And, because maybe, I don't know, can you tell us something small?
You see, Akwamu, we hid our history. We thought it was so sacred that we never told our story.
Okay.
And that is why people have bought into our story and rather making it like it's their own.
Okay.
Menu, the sister of Obriyabwa, was brought to Akwamu because she was barren.
Okay.
And she had the first.
But who is Obriyabwa?
Obriyabwa was the chief of Kwamang.
The chief of Kwamang.
By then, there was no Ashanti.
There was no Ashanti. Okay.
Good. So this woman brought forth a child, and it was named after the shrine Tutu, which is still here.
The shrine Tutu is here.
It's here.
In Akwamufie.
In Akwamu here.
Okay.
So that was the first name.
So how then did she get pregnant if she was barren?
She was barren, when you go to consult the oracles, they know what to do.
Okay.
So people say she was impregnated by the
oracle.
No, the priest.
The priest.
Yes.
Okay.
So
people say, but what do you say since you are the one telling?
Well, I also subject myself to it.
Okay.
Because you can't go in for a royal like that.
Okay.
And when he was at a certain age, he was sent to Kwamang.
Okay.
At Kwamang, when the Denchras heard they have a royal, in the person of Kofi
Tutu, who was named after the shrine
Tutu.
So Tutu. So what of the Osei?
Osei was given to him by the Ashantis.
The Ashantis.
Yes.
And then
the Tutu was a common name.
So he had two names.
Yes.
Ashanti name, which is Osei, and then the Tutu, which is Akwamu name.
Yes.
So Ashanti, Akwamu. Okay.
So when he was sent there, he had to go and serve at the Denchra, royalty.
Okay.
And because he was a very handsome boy,
Mhm.
you know, he became a darling. And
Wow.
you know what happened?
No, I don't know. Unless you tell
You
me.
see, one of the nieces of the king of Denchira
Okay.
fell in love.
Mm.
So Osei Tutu impregnated
Wow.
her.
Okay.
And for fear of being killed,
Mhm.
he had to run away.
Okay.
And the only option for him was to run to Akwamu because Denchira only feared Akwamu and no other state.
Ah. So Denchira was a fortress to Osei Tutu.
Yes.
Okay. But do you know what happens to the woman he impregnated?
And she brought forth a child who also became a king.
What was the name of that child?
Ntim
Intim Jakari.
Yeah.
So Intim Jakari is Osei Tutu's son.
Son.
Intim Jakari became a king in Denchira.
Yes.
Interesting.
So he came to Akwamu, and at Akwamu, he came to learn the war tactics, the administrative organization of Akwamu, and everything about Akwamu, because he was a darling to Nana Asasireku. By which time, Okonfa-Anokye had been imprisoned.
The whole Almighty Okonfa-Anokye
Yes,
was imprisoned.
by Akwamu. Why?
Why?
Because he had foreseen that some whites called Kankan Abrofo, that is the Danish, were coming to take his power. And to Akwamu, it's over his dead body that no human being can take over his power. So he said he has lied. So he put him into prison.
Okay.
So when he was at the prison, Osei Tutu fed him. He was feeding him. So one day, Osei Tutu was called by Okonfa-Anokye, and he was told, "Your uncle is dead, and there are emissaries on the road coming to pick you. So when they come to pick you, please tell your boss to release me for you." And true to the word, they came.
Wow.
And when they came, they asked permission, and Akwamufie gave him out. He can take him to Kumasi.
Okay.
Akwamufie also added about 300 men.
Oh,
Yes.
I never heard of that part.
Yes, it is true. From Enum. Enum was part of Akwamu then.
Okay.
To shield Okonfa-Anokye, Osei Tutu, because he had no connections, so much connections in Kwamang to help him. But they knew they were going to fight war. So the Enum people were the Edums, the executioners.
Okay.
So he gave them out.
300.
300, yes.
Wow, that was generous.
Yes. I say he had 10,000 army, standing army.
Standing army. Okay.
So what happened? When he wanted to leave, he was given Mpabuakese by Akwamufie.
What is in Mpabuakese?
Sandals,
Okay.
worn by Akwamufie,
Okay.
Batakarikese, and a Cheokese. These are relics that Ashanti, when being installed, he uses for his installation.
Up to date.
Up to date. They mention it.
That it was given to them by the Akwamu.
By Akwamu.
Wow.
And that is why, as Ashanti, when even he was talking at Chebi last time, he said, "I came to Akwamu and Akwamufu jame kwany."
Okay.
And that is a pregnant statement.
That is
A pregnant statement.
okay.
Because you don't know how we helped him go.
Okay, okay, I understand. All right, so here is the case. When I was in Osu Castle, one of the things they told me was that the keys to the castle, the original keys to the castle, is here in Akwamu. How can we?
No, they are almost always with me at the museum.
Okay.
So they are here.
Wow. So, are there things that you would like people to even see, or you like me to see, or you like us to show?
Of course, if you want to, because Gone are the days where we thought it was a taboo for people to see the.
Okay.
Today it's open.
It's open. So is it like we can see, maybe you can go in with a camera, you can film some of them?
For sure. My deputy is there.
Okay.
So
you can take us around and do that. Wow. Hello, Mr. Mehdi. See you, Charlie. It's been nice. Nana, so I don't know, like until I came here, with a younger generation, right? I'll be very honest, we know nothing. Because you can see your colleague and he can tell everything happening in America and Russia, everywhere. But when you ask about even where you are, we know nothing. So what's your advice? What do you think went wrong? What can be done so that, everybody watching, we can all learn from it?
You see, what I want to say is the youth of today must come back, to do what we call sankofa. They shouldn't see the old men as fetish. They see history, custom, and tradition as fetishism. But that is totally wrong. That is why they run away.
Okay.
Because of Christianity, they run away from all this. And that's why they don't know nothing. So they have to rescind from that decision, come back to learn.
Okay. So first thing I want to find out, I have quite an audience, right? I have quite an audience, and a lot of people sometimes, how can we go to this place? How can we go? And sometimes, certain groups, I give them contact, they go to some of the places, and sometimes I'm so happy about it, right? But now, I think I want to just take it a little bit up notch and try to help organize one or two things. So will it be safe that, okay, with you, we can have people come around, because you have just a waterfront and look, we're there. It's so amazing that many people would like to come and experience it. So can we have some kind of fusion, because I want to be very honest with you. The young guys, if there is nothing fused into the culture, it will be difficult for people to come back. Because many people are into certain things, they've upgraded into certain lifestyle that we know, until there is a fusion, a fusion where tradition, the culture meets the current, I would say that Gen Z thing in a very wise, crafted way. I think it's going to be that difficult. But the question is that, are you ready for that kind of fusion?
Seriously, we are. We are seriously ready for any fusion. So for us, it wouldn't sort of denigrate our custom and tradition. You see, custom and tradition is nice.
Yes.
It identifies you. But to go nude, half nude, and those kind of things, that one, some of us wouldn't allow.
Okay, so for instance, now let me just use religion like church. You see, the old churches that says that a lot of them have become,
they have something in their grounds.
You understand? And then the churches that has come up, you can wear trousers, and just look trendy, because it's just a culture thing. Just look trendy and all that. And that is the fusion, right? And you can go to a church and, they are just normal, dressed down, and it's working. And they are preaching, and people's lives are being transformed and all that. So is culture ready to meet, have that meeting point? Because, for instance, someone from the diaspora coming, that during summer, they wear shorts and, just to feel that. And then, you want that person to come back. That's it.
Normally, when they come here, we give them clothes.
You give them clothes?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, I'm trying to talk for you guys, but it look like when you come, something has to rub on you. I don't know, the old man is so wise that after all the talk, he just squashed it with just one word. Normally, we give them cloth. So, you know, it's an avenue to get a new cloth. If you want a new cloth, come to Akwamu. Get it. Just wear your short and come. They'll give you cloth. I hope you don't take the cloth when they are going back.
When they are going back, we take it.
Wow.
Except when they want to buy.
When they want to buy. Wow, okay. Beautiful.
Because the museum has no finances.
Okay,
No.
okay. I think that, so it's about time we just, if we can see some of the things and also talk about some of them. And one of the things I really want to see is the key to the castle.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to see that, honestly.
There's no problem. You will see it.
Yeah, so Nana, I think that very soon you'll hear back from us, and many people watching us will be calling and will also be coming here to just visit and see, especially the conquest of Nana Asimeni and the other things that we have here. So thank you very much for having me. And can you tell me a little about Brekusu?
Brekusu was part of Akwamu when we were at Nyanawasi.
Okay.
They were the Chafu division of our empire.
Okay.
And the brewery was Adontin.
Okay.
So Brekusu is a typical Akwamu town.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
The chief is hearing me, so he can respond.
Okay. All right, thank you. So what again do you have to say to everybody in Ghana, in the world? Like, what message do you have that I've not asked you before your second in command take us to check out the museum?
All that I want to say is there is nothing bad in history, nothing bad in custom and tradition.
Okay.
So we have to embrace it,
Okay.
to identify ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You see, look at the Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
the way they dress.
Mm-hmm.
I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Russians,
Mm-hmm.
the way they dress. You see, I like them.
Wow.
But the West,
What of Ghana?
Ghana, we are copying wrongly.
Okay.
If you go to Kwawu Easter,
Yeah.
you regret. You know. So these are things we don't want to encourage.
Okay.
We want to maintain our custom and tradition,
Okay.
our culture.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Thank you very much, Nana. And God bless you for having time with me. And now I can't wait. I'm about to go and see this ancient relics. And oh my God, I don't know what to see. I'm just waiting. When I see the key, can I touch it?
Permission. Permission granted.
Okay. And then I have the map here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I touch the map?
Oh, yes, you can.
Okay. So I think George and Agnes keep asking me the map. And this is this the span of the Akwamu Empire. So this is Wida, right?
Wida, yeah.
Wida from Benin.
Yeah.
Okay, so the door of no return is a port for
Yes.
I think the slavery, and this is Popo.
Popo, yeah.
Popo is also where Togo.
Togo, yeah.
Okay, and then Angloketa, Agave, Ladoku, Krepi,
that is Peki and
okay,
the top here.
Kweu,
yeah.
Tafo, Akwamu, Kwaben, Akwetia, Asamankese, Akron, Akin. All these were part of Akwamu State.
Akron is the present day this thing.
Apam. Okay. Then Akim is the Akim Odan area.
Yes.
Wow. Then Akwamu was big. Akwamu was big. 1710. The expansion of Akwamu in 1710. George, are we okay now? This is Akwamu. Very big. Are we good? Thank you very much, Nana.
You're welcome.
Sorry? I cannot hear what you're saying. Okay, Agnes is actually from Kumasi. So she's asking, is that why all the names in Kumasi, they look the same? They sound the same, like what? Tafo. Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you a small story.
Okay, tell us.
The Fiyesi War was a very tough war for the Ashantis. And they invited Akwamu, so we went there to help them. And after helping them, the Ashantis decided to create a division called Akwamu. That's why when you go to any Ashanti town, there's Akwamu Hine, Akwamu Hine, Akwamu Hine, Akwamu Hine. But you don't have Ashanti Hine anywhere. But you have Akwamu Hine in any state.
So the Akwamus were the warriors.
Warriors.
So warrior king, warrior. Oh my God, I see.
You got it?
But do the Kriapens have Akwamu Hine?
Yes.
Huh. Guys, I'm going to research on Akwamu Hine.
if you go to Mampong, there's Akwamu Hine. Almost all the time.
Akwamu Hine. Wow. Because people fear Akwamu. So the moment they hear Akwamu is here, they will not come.
They are almost always the second in command in any town.
In the town. Wow. Wow.
That's why we give lectures on Kronti ni Akwamu.
Kronti.
And Akwamu.
Okay. What is Kronti?
Kroniti.
Okay. Okay. All right. Look, guys, let me tell you something. I think if you want to deal with the history of Akwamu, look, we need to, it has to be like, we need food around because we will not finish. We need food around, we will not finish. So guys, this is where it ends today. Every bit moment was exciting. I was so shocked, and I'm still shocked at some of the things that I've learned here. So I'm waiting for second in command. And look, this is the first time that we've had two people in one subject where we have the privilege to speak with the king. And then after his second in command is going to take us around to the museum. So guys, I'm so excited and I feel privileged. And I want to say thank you to all the Akwamu, and thank you to the king who created the museum. Thank you to Nana, everybody. I'm so pleased. If you didn't do this, like we all lost, like we've lost, we can't see anything. There is nothing to talk about. And one of the things I want to say is that once a while on a Saturday, just drive to Akosombo, branch left after that Domi Bridge. Just come and learn. Just come and learn. Have fun at the beachfront. I mean, there's nice places to have fun. Just come and learn and go home. It will change your life. It will change your perspective. It will reshape your thinking ability. So guys, we are about to roll to the next one, the museum. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so guys, like I said, very privileged to have like two tour, you know, like in one day and all that kind of stuff. So today I'm actually here, and it's like I'm off the grid of the protocol that you can film in this room, but Nana has actually given us permission. So we are going to be a bit discreet. There's a lot of things that are here, but I mean, we can't, right? We can't film. But there's only one thing that we can film, and guess what it is? Just come and show them. This is the keys to the Osu Castle. This key was brought here by Nana Sumeni to show his conquest. And there are so many keys. I don't even know what is for or whatsoever, different shapes and all that. But this is a testament. George, come and show them. Show them this. Well, show them this. This is a testament that the Akwamus is a show of power, that we conquer anything that we want to conquer. I don't even know if they lost a war, but they never lost any war. If you think they lost the war, come with the proof. I think the only tribe or the only group, the only empire in Ghana currently that never lost a war is the Akwamus. And that is why they have Akwamu in every Akan state. Why? Because the mention of Akwamu brings terror and fear. So today, I'm here. I can see some sword is so big and huge, and it shows the strength and might and power of the Akwamus. I don't even know who can lift that sword now. and guns and ivories. I can see ivories, but I can't touch them. I can't even show you. Sorry. Look. Anyway, this is an ancient relics. So just come here, visit here by yourself. Come to Akwamu. And then I was corrected that Akwamu is not in Akosombo, but Akosombo is in Akwamu. So visit Akwamu, I tell you, and just come to the Akwamufie, and you can watch all these beautiful relics, and they will tell you the history about it. I mean, if I want to add that, we need to do another video. But what is of interest is the key. Seized by Nana. See you another time. Bye-bye.